So I'm just getting ready for the night. I've just put this Oplex in my hair and it feels so nice. But while I'm winding down, brushing my hair, I've just had a shower, I'm having some lemon and ginger tea before bed. I thought let's talk the Virgo new moon, which is kind of why we're doing the skincare, the cleaning, the hygiene, the teas. It's all about health, hygiene, purity. This Virgo new moon is happening at roughly 11 degrees, and for Australia it's happening on the 3rd of September, but depending on where you are, it could be happening on the 2nd because time zones do change. That's definitely check your location. But this Virgo new moon, what that is showing is that new moons are beginnings, they're a new chapter, they are the start of something new. It is a new cycle in that Virgo area of your natal chart. So it's really important to have a look at where Virgo is, especially that 11 degree mark and maybe 3 degrees before and 3 degrees after. So up to like the 14 degree mark because of the orbs. But have a look and see if there are any planets in there, or even if this new moon will be aspecting anything in your chart. It's really important to check that out because then you're going to know individually how this is going to impact you and your chart. So that's the first thing. But globally, we're probably going to see a lot of things come up about the healthcare system, hospitals, nurses, health in general, because that is that Virgo energy. And these are going to be new things. So it's the beginning. It's the start of something new. It's a brand new chapter. New moons are also a great time to plant those seeds of intention and to manifest. However, this new moon is opposite Saturn, and Saturn in Pisces shows us a bit of fog and confusion around the stability and the foundation. So we're definitely going to feel like there is a part of us that is almost like, what's real, what's reality? Because Saturn is that reality check, right? It is very earthly. It rules Capricorn and Aquarius. But in Pisces is very delusional, very illusional, very fantasy-based. It can be very foggy, very confusing. Pisces and Neptune energy don't really have any boundaries, where Saturn is all about restrictions, boundaries, limitations. So that being opposite this Virgo new moon is going to really make us put in a lot of hard work around that Pisces house. And oppositions are a bit of a tug of war energy. So it's like wherever we're being responsible and working hard with that Pisces side of things is going to add a bit of a challenge to that Virgo new moon seed that we're kind of planting, if that makes sense. They're not working nicely together. They're kind of in a bit of a tug of war. So I recommend definitely focusing on your health, making sure you've got a good routine, that you're being really organized, that you're being very responsible, and paying attention to those details. So it is really important with this Virgo new moon to focus on those things that you can control, and looking after your health and your hygiene and being really responsible with your work and duties, and having organization and a good routine is going to help with that. Whether you do some kind of goal planning, whether you use a planner, whether you use like alarms and reminders on your phone, it's just all about being organized. So however you want to do that is totally fine. But remember, this is going to depend on where Virgo is in your natal chart. So that's going to add a bit of a different element. For example, if Virgo is in your 11th house, then this could be about friends and the groups that you're a part of. So that could be a little bit different for you. It might just mean that or some kind of fitness activity with a friend or with some friends. You might join a group like yoga, do some meditation. That's that kind of Pisces energy. You might just join a group that's really focused on like the gym, bodybuilding, something like that, because that's that Virgo energy. The 11th house is friendships. So you can kind of mesh all of that together. So yeah, really try and find out where that house is for you, where Virgo is, where that, which house that rules, or what it's ruling for you. And going back to that Virgo energy, as I said, it's really about purity. Virgo is ruled by the Virgin. It's an earth sign. So this is going to be about being practical, reliable, steady. It's about kind of money and those earthly practical things. So stay grounded during this time. Again, manifesting isn't a bad thing with this new moon, but it is going to be individualized for each person because our charts are all going to be really different. So this is going to play out in a lot of different ways. But really it's going to be a great time to really make sure that over the next 6 months before the Virgo full moon happens, that we've really worked on that area, because again, we want to kind of align what we're trying to manifest and the seeds that we're planting with our long-term goals, because Saturn's involved in this and it is Virgo. So we really want to check out how we can best utilize that and what we can do there. And then obviously the Virgo full moon, that'll shed a lot of light, because full moons are all about completion. So in like 6 months time, you'll see what you've planted now kind of bloom and come into fruition. So for me personally, it's happening in my 6th house of health and fitness. I'm really excited to make sure that I'm going to the gym, I'm eating right, I'm sticking to a good routine, but also resting, because Saturn's in my 12th house in Pisces and it's all about rest and relaxation. So definitely finding ways to exercise and move my body, be healthy, but still make sure that I'm resting while I'm working and trying to be fit and healthy. So rest is super important. Your body does the most healing, your brain does the most healing and regenerating, as well as your muscles in your body when you're sleeping. So it's super important to get a lot of rest. So I hope you found this really helpful and informative, but I know all the Virgos out there with this full moon, this new moon I should say, are really going to hopefully have a really good experience with it. And this is my cat coming in to say good night. It's also super interesting because this is pretty much the last Virgo new moon before we move into like the Virgo Pisces eclipses. And at the end of this month, so obviously we have this Virgo new moon, but the eclipse that's happening at the end of the month, the Pisces eclipse, the full moon, is kind of like a hybrid. So it is an eclipse based on like the degree and how close the node is, that 10-degree orb, to the full moon, that Pisces full moon. However, it is a hybrid because the North Node is still in Aries while the actual full moon is happening at the last degrees of Pisces. So the latter degrees of Pisces, I think it's about 26 degrees. But that hybrid eclipse full moon in Pisces is actually going to be a bit of a glimpse into what we can expect in 2025 and 2026 with the Virgo and Pisces eclipse, which I personally think is going to be a lot to do with events around water, like health and hospitals. Like I think the healthcare system, especially in places like the UK, just in general, like everywhere, like I'm from Australia, I just know that the healthcare system, I just have this feeling that there's going to be a lot to do with nurses and doctors and the healthcare system, and really needing to focus on your health and fitness and your mental health as well. So that's going to be a big key theme with the eclipses. Is there going to be another pandemic? I don't know. Are there going to be more issues with diseases and illnesses with these eclipses in Pisces and Virgo? Possibly. We might even see with the Pisces, which I'll talk a bit more when we get closer to it, because I really wanted to talk more so about the Virgo new moon. But with the North Node still technically being in Aries and then the full moon occurring in Pisces, I just feel like there could be events where there are issues with WAR or some kind of like attack, whether it's like a situation like 9/11 or whether it's like a massive natural disaster where there's a lot of like injuries and damage. I don't know, but it kind of feels like the eclipse is in that Virgo Pisces energy, especially the hybrid Aries Pisces full moon at the end of September. I don't know, I feel like there could be tsunamis, kind of floods. There could be like a lot of issues with water, especially natural disasters. But yeah, there could be some issues with like a massive attack, as I said, whether it's like a physical attack or whether it's like a natural disaster, that type of thing. I don't know, that's just kind of the vibe that the charts are giving me. Eclipses aren't always necessarily bad, but they are very, very powerful. And they're really, really powerful is because they're hitting the North Node and the South Node. They're coming into contact with that. And the North Node is the destiny. It's our destiny, the collective destiny, or in your personal natal chart, your destiny. It's where you're supposed to be fulfilling your life purpose. It's the energy you're supposed to be working towards and what you're supposed to be doing. It's literally destiny. And so that brings pretty powerful events and situations. However, it really does depend on your natal chart. And for the collective, it really depends on what nations' charts and things like that are actually being activated, because not everywhere and everyone is going to have these certain eclipses activate their chart because of the degrees. So it's really important to reach out to astrologers or people that kind of can help you understand that energy of the eclipses. So a lot of other people feel it a bit differently. And the South Node is what we need to release and kind of get rid of. It's the things that we need to let go of. So I hope that helps you kind of understand this upcoming energy a little bit better.